Good afternoon. It's Sunday afternoon. It's really nice outside. It's not humid. Nice breeze, and I'm not sure what the temperature is. I'm thinking, I don't know, less than 80, maybe 75 or something like that. Today, I'm going to make blackberry cobbler. My mother would make blackberry cobbler every time her brothers and her sister came in from out of town, and she would also fix chicken and dumplings. So I found her recipe in this cookbook. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's well worn. And I transferred that to my little index cards that I use. And I put all my favorite recipes in here because sometimes when I'm away from home, I want to have my little favorite recipes in case I want to cook something. So, let me start off. Let me get this turned around. Okay, you need a 9 by 13 pan. I've got the oven preheating to 400. And I've got 2 cups of blackberries. These are fresh. And when you measure them out in your cup, Mama says 2 cups or 4 cups piled high. So it means a lot of blueberries. And these fresh ones I bought 4 6-ounce cartons of blackberries. All right, and to the blackberries, we're going to add 2.5 cups of water. And 1.5 cups of sugar. That's what Mama called for, but I don't want to add that much because sugar upsets my tummy. And I tasted the blackberries and they were sweet enough, so I'm just going to use 1 cup of sugar. Okay, close enough. Let me put a little bit in here because I'm going to mix this with my flour. Spread that around. And the first time I made blackberry cobbler, I forgot to put water in there, and that's why it was so dry. I mean, the taste of it was good. You can't go wrong with the taste of blackberries, but it wasn't juicy. Okay, now we need 4 tablespoons of flour, and I am going to use my white lily flour. Let me cut this. When it gets low on flour, I like to trim off the bag a little bit. Okay, 4 tablespoons. One, 2, 3. I just scrape it upside the bag. Set that aside. Now let me stir that around. And the reason I do this, I don't know if it's necessary, but It's so that when I sprinkle the flour in there, it's not like lumps of flour. It seems to blend together better. I should have gotten a bigger bowl. And I am going to put just a little bit of salt in here. Not very much. Maybe, because Mama doesn't call for it to be in there. But I'm going to put in maybe a fourth of a teaspoon. Edith, get down. My cat Edith is up here. She likes to drink from the kitchen faucet. Drives me crazy. Get down. Get down. Get down. I have to wash your hands. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to sprinkle in this mixture of flour and sugar. And I guess another reason to put a little salt in there is because you have this flour in there. Now, Mama did say she always made little notes on her recipes. She said if you want a thicker pie, she called it pie, even though I know she meant cobbler. She said to add 2 more cups of blackberries. So, you know, anybody that's grown up out in the country and gone out in the weeds and the bushes to pick blackberries, you never know how many you're going to get. And they're certainly not big blackberries like these. You know, sometimes they're a little small, like the end of your little finger, when you get the wild blackberries. And of course you want to wear a long sleeve shirt, because you're going to end up getting scratched if you don't. But oh, in the end, it is so worth it. And a lot of people don't like Blackberry Cobbler because of the grit of the seed. They like the flavor. My husband loved the flavor. He just didn't like the grit or the hardness of those seeds. Alright, I got that in. And now it calls for mace. Mama used this in her apple pies. She used it in her Blackberry Cobbler. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on there till it looks right to me. Till it smells good. I don't know, maybe a half a teaspoon. And if you like the taste of mace, you could add more. Alright, and then it calls for butter. And of course, I'm going to share this with my daughter, who is vegan. So I want to use some vegan butter. And I have 2 choices here. There are a lot of choices out there for vegan butters, but these, I have 2 here I'm going to show you. This one right here is Earth Balance Vegan Buttery Sticks. And it's good for bacon. And then the other one is Miyoko. I think that's how you say it. This is more expensive, very expensive. So I use this one when I want to share with my daughter maybe a homemade roll. And she comes down here and I get this butter out and butter it up for her. So I keep that in reserve. Okay, now I'm just going to put in small pats. Not even, I'm slicing it real thin. It actually would probably be like maybe a half a teaspoon. So I'm probably going to end up with maybe 2 tablespoons of butter. And I can't wait to eat this. This is going to be good. Usually I give my daughter, I'll take a portion for myself of whatever I make, and give her the rest for her and her husband. And I think I may have to keep a little more of this Blackberry Cobbler. Okay, now that part's ready. I'm going to set this aside, try to find a place where the ants are not. Now that can be getting all those juices out of there. And let me put this away. Oh, I'm having trouble with my, now I won't say trouble, with my dentures. It's odd that when you have dentures, you produce a lot of saliva. Excuse me for being so, maybe not what you want to hear, but a lot of people have dentures. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. But I seem to produce a lot of saliva. And sometimes I get to talking, I'm thinking, slow down so you can get rid of the saliva in your mouth. Oh. Alright, now we're going to make the pie crust. And it's the same one that I used when I made the apple cobbler. And let me look for it here in this, let me find it. I'll just kind of read some of what I have as I'm looking through. Homemade flour tortillas, noodles, chicken and dumplings, spinach ricotta bites, banana bread bars, orange bundt cake, French onions, Granny's meatloaf, Alfredo sauce, Granny's breakfast casserole, Italian Christmas cookies, Finnish cupcake, strawberry cake, scones. Let's see. Quick pie crust. Oh, that one's made with oil. I'll have to share that one with you sometime. Egg pastry pie shell. I have down here a note. It's very good for when you're baking filling and the shell together. And I say the egg helps the pastry shell stay crisp. So I've used it with Blackberry Cobbler. It's real good. But I'm not using that one today because it's got egg in it. And my daughter can't have eggs. So let's see. Corn pudding. Oh, here it is. Chef Way pie crust. Okay, I need 1 1/3 cup of flour. And I'll use this white lily since it's open. I think these cups are made for left-handed people. My sister's left-handed. So is my sister-in-law and my oldest daughter. All 3 of them. 1 1/3. Okay. Ah, there it is on this side. I don't do a lot of measuring, but when I make pie crust, I do measure out my flour. I'm going to use my sifter. Now, I've got 2. One, the holes are bigger than this one. This one is finer. Okay. Alright, half a teaspoon of salt. Okay. Half a cup of shortening. I'm using vegetable shortening. That's through Crisco. You use vegetable shortening in your pie crust, or then you can say it's vegan as long as you don't put some other animal product in there. Half a cup. Alright, there's that. Get out my pastry blender. Okay, I'm going to blend that up. I want it to be pea-sized. And I'll pause here and I'll come back when it's ready. Okay, I have blended the shortening into the flour, like pea size. Now I'm going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. Now when I made it the last time, when I made the apple cobbler, I told you it doesn't always take all the water that it says it'll take. Depends on the humidity and all that. Now I'm gonna mix this with my hands. It's just easier to me. Okay, I have 2 tablespoons of water in here. And just turn it around, being quick. You don't want to spend a lot of time mashing on it, and the whole time you're turning and pressing on it, you're trying to get the dough to come together. Alright, I'm going to need a little more water. I'm going to say that was probably a tablespoon and a half. You see it, how it's coming together there? I think I'm going to have to make a note on this recipe that this could take between 5 and 6 cups. No, 5 to 6 tablespoons of water. Okay. But I told you last time, you know, you say you can't make pie crust. It's just a matter of practice and getting the feel for it. Okay, now it wants to come away from the sides. That's good, and it's getting a lot easier to get into a ball. Now I'm gonna scrape the sides. Okay. There we go. Okay, just put it in the ball. But it's pie crust is like biscuits. The less you mess with it, then it won't be tough or hard. Okay. And I just keep this cold water in the refrigerator. It gets colder quicker or if I keep it in the refrigerator in a little jar, it's very cold. Whereas if you get a cup and put ice in it, it takes a little while for that ice to get that water real cold. So I just keep it in the refrigerator like that. Okay, now time to roll out the crust. And that sound is the sound of my daughter out there cutting the grass. Okay, sprinkle a little out on the counter. Sprinkle a little bit on my pie crust. Get it in kind of a round shape. Okay. Now I was thinking about how did I want to do this crust. I think maybe I might just make it a patchwork. And that way the little spots where it's not together, little cracks in the patchwork, gives the juice little places to come up. All right, let me get the cobbler. Okay, get a sharp knife, and I'm just going to cut the edges away from the middle of the pie crust so I can have some straight lines. It's just whatever you're in the mood for. You don't have to do it like this. You can just take a piece like that and throw it on there. Because all this leftover crust, you put it in a bag for a couple of days in the refrigerator and use it for something else, or you can put it in the freezer and it'll keep a while. Alright, just going to lay this on there. Top. Doesn't look pretty, but after it bakes and all that juice comes up between those cracks and gets all over it, oh, it'll be good. You'll love it. Okay, I'm going to put it in the oven for about 40 minutes and then I'll be back. All right, here you have it. I let this Blackberry Cobbler bake for about 50 minutes, and then I have put it on my Gen Air vent so that it could cool off so it wouldn't be runny when I divided it to share it with my daughter. Now I am going to take out a portion and taste it. And I think I'll try some cream on it too, in honor of my grandfather. So let me go get a plate or a... Okay, I took out a portion. Let me look up here. Let me get a bite. Okay, the crust is soft. Oh, that's so good. And it's sweet enough, you know. The recipe called for 1.5 cups of sugar. I used 1/2 cup because the berries were sweet. Oh my. Oh my. I'm sorry that I can't share it with you, but you'll have to make one. Now I'm putting just a little cream. Of course, it's good. And I wanted to share something else with you. I don't think you can see it. It's a Clematis or Clematis, whichever way you want to pronounce it. I'm going to move this down. It's about spent. It's about gone. But my daughter has several vines, and I picked one the other day. I just love them. They're so pretty. And I put it in a little toothpick holder. It's just the right size. Okay. Now, I made this vegan. And the only thing I did to make it vegan was put vegan butter in it. So if you're having guests and one of them happens to be vegan, you can put vegan butter in here. Nobody will know. It tastes just like an ordinary blackberry pudding. You can serve it with cream. You can serve it with ice cream. If you have someone who is vegan, buy your regular ice cream and then buy them a little container of So Delicious ice cream. It's made, they have 4 different kinds made from almond or cashew, oats or coconut. So if someone you know is allergic to nuts, then buy the coconut or oat So Delicious ice cream. But this is so good. And I called my daughter and I told her, I said, you know, usually I just take a portion and give you the rest. I said, I'm going to have to take half of this cobbler. So for supper, I'm going to have blackberry cobbler, a baked sweet potato, and some cornbread. And I'll get the cornbread and show it to you. Okay, I made so much batter that I had to put some in my little skillet, and then the rest of it I put in a muffin tin. And let's see if I can get that out. Yeah, it could have cooked a little more. That's okay, I'll eat it. I've spent so much time with the blackberry cobbler, I didn't feel like having a big supper. So supper tonight is Mexican cornbread and a baked sweet potato and blackberry cobbler. I think you can't beat that. So y'all have a good evening, good day, and be kind to somebody. And I'll see you in the next video. And I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe and like the video. And it really helps if you watch it till the very end, even if you have to watch it on 2 times speed. So I'll see y'all later. Bye.